Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I am Sepya Humaera. I am from class A2 in 4th semester and I am from English Education Department. So in here I will retell or explain again about what I got from listening to the video lesson how to improve your speaking skills in English presented by Maddie from POC English on her YouTube channel. Before we get into tips or steps to practice English speaking skills, we must know that speaking is the most important skills in English because it helps us to communicate with other people. In improving speaking skills, there are several things we need to know. According to the Maddie, talking is likened to a game of ping pong or table tennis, where two players participate together. In terms of speaking, we have two people communicating with each other, right? And what do we need to play ping pong? Of course, we will need rackets and balls. In the context of speaking, racket is grammar and ball is vocabulary. We use this racket or grammar to shoot the ball or vocabulary. So, the point is that in speaking, we use grammar to express vocabulary. Thus, it can say that the basis of good speaking skills includes grammar and vocabulary. Without learning grammar or increasing vocabulary knowledge, it will be difficult for us to express it, right? This is first step that must be taken. In this lesson, we will find out how to make our speech less boring with grammar and vocabulary. We will learn something different. If we learn grammar and vocabulary only, will that make us a good English speaker? Of course not. It's like buying a ping pong racket and ball. If we buy the racket and the table, will that make us a professional ping pong player? Of course not. Now it's time to learn the rules of the game. How can you play ping pong? Theoretically, we should have understood the game by now, right? The same goes for talking. You need to know how to improve your speaking skills first. Here I will share tips suggested by Maddie. In her video, she gives two simple rules that can help us improve our speaking skill through improving communication. The first tip is avoid short answer. If someone wants to have a conversation with us and they ask a question, don't blow them off by responding briefly. For example, where are you from? Italy. Notes. Instead, let's talk or answer in detail because then we'll show that we're also interested in having a conversation and we can continue the conversation by returning questions. For example, where are you from? I'm from Italy. I was born in Milan, one of the largest cities in Italy and famous for its special food, risotto Milanese. You have to try it. This conversation is much better now. Now let's think about the ping pong game again. If we hit the ball but the opponent doesn't return the ball, it means the game is over and we don't want the game to end. We want to keep playing. Now how can we return the ball or how can we continue the conversation by returning the questions? For example, like this. Where are you from? I am from Italy. I was born in Milan, one of the largest cities in Italy and famous for its typical food, namely risotto Milanese. You have to try it. How about you? Where do you come from? I am from the state. Next, know what if someone else gives you a very short answer. Know that will relate to rule number 2. That is, don't let the conversation die. Continue using or asking follow-up questions. For example, The state? Wow, I've never been there to be in that state. I was born in Boston, but 5 years ago I moved to New York. That's the right conversations. So two rules we got from this lesson. For the first one is avoid short answer, and the second is also use follow-up questions. We have to keep the game or conversations from being boring or seems awkward. So those are the simple basic tips that we need to know in theory, how we practice speaking, especially in English. But are you a good conversationalist? Once again, we can imagine when we only buy rackets and balls to play table tennis and we have learned the rules of the game. Can it be said that we are a good tennis player? Of course not. We still need to practice, have to play with opponents, to test ourselves, to learn more and more. The more we practice, the more we are able to master speaking. The more you are in a situation where you have to communicate with one person or several people, the better speaker you will become. But how can we get a chance to talk? We can take a course, join a class which is speaking club, or we can talk with a group of our friends, and we can also be looking for a speaking partner. So like Maddie said, the foundation of a good speaking skills is grammar and vocabulary. And the next step is to try to use grammar and vocabulary that we have learned to talk to someone. That's all I can say. I hope these tips or steps can be conveyed clearly and can be useful. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.